Welcome to the Bitcoin RoadShow. This is Craig. So I haven't done a show for a while, and I want to do one today because on my what do you call it, Cryptoversity Facebook group and the Signals one on what do you call it, the Facebook Messenger. I wanted to keep people updated because I do remember what it's like when you're new to crypto and people want to know what to do, but you give them information and it's good information, but then it becomes a little bit outdated. So I kind of wanted to update things as far as what you would do and why you would do it and how you would look at things. I don't use Open Broadcast Studio. I should try use it on this laptop. I will do it one day, but for the moment, I'm just going to turn my camera around like this. Right, so I'm just going to go through a few coins here and explain how I would look at these if I was going to buy them myself, which I already own some of them. Some of them I've dumped, like Cardano right here, which is on 8 cents right now. It's rallied up since I sold it like a fucking bitch. I bought it at, I think, about 450 Satoshis, and now it's at 890. I think I sold it 600 and something. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world, you know. Win some, you lose some, of course. I mean, I didn't lose. Of course, I still made money out of it, but nowhere near where I could have made. Look at that. I mean, I bought down here somewhere. Yeah, terrible. And then I could have more than doubled, like I did with DigiByte. I'm more than doubled with DigiByte. I can't complain at these things, right? But the simple fact is, when I'm looking, I look at something that has a strong, this is a strong project, been around for a long time. Look at it, 2017 October. Not a long time, of course, but it's a big name. It's a third generation blockchain, right? And you see down here, this is, if it, people are thinking, oh, it's going to die, it's going to die. And some projects do. But when in these ones, this is why I'm talking about mineable stuff to you guys sometimes, because in a mineable coin, this is a platform coin. It's not just a piece of currency like to join the rest of them. It's not just another pie in the sky idea and a reason to have a coin for no fucking reason at all, right? This is this is actually a platform, third generation platform, and this is basically the gas that powers the network, right? So it's a currency as well because it's mineable. That's a reason for it to bounce back, especially when it's got a community behind it. And I know that one of the channels I really like, Tyler from Chico Crypto, he doesn't kind of get this. He's got himself involved in some little standoff with Charles Hoskinson. I don't know what's that about really, but anyway, it's not kind of, it sounds a little bit ridiculous to me. I won't get into it. But, I mean, you can see that this has got recovery. This is going to get big recovery. This will get to see this peak here. This one, by the way, fuck counting in US dollars, count in Satoshis. You don't care about accumulating this. You care about accumulating that. And you know why? Because if you start counting on US dollars or euros and you're in a bull market, you can lose track of your profit margins. Because for all you know, the currency that you're trading between, especially if you're in America, this is very relevant for you if you live in America, right? Because American government will charge you for every trade you do. So you've got to make sure that every trade you do, you're in profit. If you make a loss in every trade, doesn't matter. They want their taxes for the fact that you could have lost half your crypto in one trade. Those bastards still want their money from you. Greedy fuckers, right? So what you got to do is when you're making your trades, you got to be counting in Satoshis for bit. You're looking at Bitcoin gain because that's all that matters, because that's going to gain against the dollar in time, right? In a bull market especially. So do not count in fiat currency. You will fuck yourself up even if you're hodling and just trying to accumulate and see what extra you've got. Always do your hodling if you don't do mild trading, which is just buying an altcoin and then transferring half of it into Bitcoin once it makes some money. Still, be counting in Bitcoin. Do not be counting in US dollars or anything else. You will screw yourself up. So look at this. It's likely things usually meet their previous high, whether it's in USD, well, generally in USD or fiat currencies like the pound, and in Bitcoin. The peak of this one, as you can see, the peak of Cardano was in the somewhere around the 6,000 to 7,000 Satoshis. And what's it at right now? 800. I mean, that's already nearly a 10x there. Compared to the US dollar, it'll be more than a 10x because the Bitcoin and that will leave it behind. But as I say, you're focused on what makes me more Bitcoin. And what can I accumulate long term? Because when you sell out of these things, hopefully you keep some as well, because that shows your appreciation for what helped make you more Bitcoin. As more people buy into these other markets, you can still retain it. And for all you know, it ends up going 20x again and ends up trouncing Bitcoin as far as the gains are concerned, right? So that's why it's really important. I know it's probably screwing your eyes up here looking at that screen. Right, so because I can see it pulsating away there because of the interlacing on the screen. It's an old plasma that I've got in here. Right, so where are we now? Where are we? So DigiByte. Again, this one has been rallying quite well lately. As I say, I sold out of it at around 200. Oh, okay, so it's gone cheaper than what I should be looking to do is make a position again in case this doesn't retrace to the levels around about 100, 120. I just think it might go a little bit lower. I'm a bit of a I screw myself up like that sometimes. I just think, oh, I'd hate to pay more, and then it goes down to 60. Remember, I've been watching this for months and months, sitting around the 90 to 60 range. So it would be a bummer if I buy on that. I think when it goes from 200 Satoshis down, or let's say 181, down to 60, well, you could have just bought double the amount. So you do have to be careful with your buying. You see what I mean? Don't just dive in, but do dollar cost average. I put a video on the what you would call it, on the channel on if you go to cryptoversity.group, it takes you straight to the Facebook channel, and on there I'll try to make a link if it's possible to the Signals channel. I'll never charge any money for anything at any stage. This channel doesn't get monetized. Nothing I do gets monetized. I don't want to pay money to these fuckers, but at the same time, I don't need money from them. So the next one I want to show you, so basically, I was going to say, you might want to wait a little bit longer, but do start accumulating, because this coin has been around since 2014. It's not going anywhere. It's got a strong, loyal community. Look where it's gone down to at some stages, 19 Satoshis, and it's still bounced back and gone way up to over 1,000. 1,200, what is it? God, that'll be way more than that. There you go. 1,800. So basically 2,000 Satoshis. It's been at before. It will get there again. It twice, maybe 3 times, it's reached the level of 614, which is triple that it's at now. It's a safe bet. No matter what you do, you can even from this point, you can triple your money. It will happen again. People aren't just going to switch off. You got to understand, in these large mining facilities, there's people that run machines specifically for certain networks, certain pools. Networks like Zilliqa, well, particularly for like Cardano and DigiByte, they just don't get turned off. They just mine this forever. There's some networks out there like another one is Electronium that I would recommend for a potentially private coin and with a good community, but I don't talk about it very much. Yeah, you know what? Let's just see where it's at, since I've mentioned it. ETN. It's good to know all the codes for these things as well, by the way. It's already got a spin-off, Electrino, I saw there coming up. Okay, this one is a prime candidate to pop, right? Or it was back there. I mentioned that a few weeks ago, actually, and look, it did. It already went from 29 Satoshis up to 113 or something like that. So you would have quadrupled your money or more on that one. So I do need to probably start making these calls a lot more often. I'll probably drum them into people because this is how you make your Bitcoin, right? When it comes from here up to there, when it retraces and it does regain ground again, this might form a Batman head here. I can already see from a long distance. You would obviously look at lower time frames to start looking at the graph if you're a trader. But I mean, this could well form like a Batman head here. So you try right up to there and then short it back, buy it again. You know what I mean? This is how I kind of trade. I just look at patterns, not in the same. I suppose I do look at. Let me show you here. There are patterns like these, bullish divergence, bearish divergence. I will, how can I get this? I will post this up on the Cryptoversity channel on cryptoversity.group on Facebook. So basically, I do understand a lot of these patterns here, but for the most part, I don't know. It's an instinct. Before I learned all these, I still had a pretty good gift for doing this sort of stuff. Not great, but pretty good. Good enough for buying. I tell you what, I'm a good hodler. I'm a good investor, so that's why I tend to make good calls. I called the 20K thing. I called it. Well, I said it was going to be 10K by December 2017, and I said that in 2016, and it reached double that. So if anything, I'm conservative. So let's get on to Zilliqa, another one that's going to do very, very well. Look at that, it's come down 3%. Might be getting to good buy zones right now. No, it's not. Well, maybe it is. Because the thing is, if it goes way up here, look at the previous highs where it's been back in 2018. It will get there again because they have made good partnerships. It's almost a no-brainer to dollar cost average from this point, but I do see it starting to retrace a little bit. You know what? 175, you can't go wrong. Start buying in now. It found its bottom. Its bottom was around the 60. Same as DigiByte, very similar coin. Let me just check here. The total supply is 13 billion coins. It's a big supply, isn't it? Although they have got better partnerships in place probably than DigiByte. 21 billion versus 13 billion. These things do matter. You got to remember, you got to divide this total supply with the market cap to see what something's actually worth or where it could reach. Yeah, very, very, very similar projects. I think Zilliqa's got more to go than DigiByte personally. My mate Seb's going to hate me for saying that. Other mate Johnny's going to like me for saying that. Theta, again, this one is not at a point that I would touch it at the moment. What I tend to lose, I look across, okay, right now, it's actually a pretty safe place to buy. The reason being, but I wouldn't do it still. The reason being is if you draw a line across here, what you'd actually find is about 50% of the time, it has been above your buy point and 50% has been below. But in my experience, that just means that you have a high chance of holding bags for fucking ages, waiting for that price to recover. That's not where I buy things, right? Again, I don't tell you not to, because if this is getting... Projects can hum along like this for a long time, and then the news, like with Theta, can make it sell, and this might end up being, when you look at the graph in a few years' time, this will look flat as fuck. Like Bitcoin was like this. Bitcoin was like this for his whole life. And you look back on Bitcoin now. Let me just show you how it starts to look after time. You look back on Bitcoin now and it's totally different. You look at these short time frames here. If you look at any short time frame in this segment, you will see the same volatility you had here. It's just that compared to what it has right now, it starts to look flatter than, flatter than a Kiwi chick's tits, right? Well, not all Kiwi chicks, but most of them do. Anyway, so getting back to Theta, I'd personally be waiting longer, but this has probably found support here actually because of the news, and this could be a very similar thing to projects like ChainLink, which I'm going to get onto as well. And Unibright. So you look at that there, it probably has a lot more to go. What its supply is at, yeah, fairly low supply. So you're talking like what is it, 1/15 the supply and 1/21 the supply of DigiByte. So I mean, as far as the price of it, you've got to be factoring that in when you're looking at any of these coins, okay? And this is another thing that people say, and it's really fucking dumb. This is how people end up making stupid mistakes, like buying coins, fanboys that buy coins like Tron and XRP. Oh, I made money on it. Yeah, of course you can. You can make money on any old shit, right? But there is it's a risk factor. You've got to weigh up your risk level, basically. Like what's the likelihood? It's all about probabilities, right? And the likelihood of getting fucked by something like Verge or Tron, or which is TRX or VRG, yeah, or even Lumens to a degree, I think, but especially XRP and of course shit coins at the bottom of the heap. They are a much higher likelihood of you getting wrecked. So yeah, just beware of that. Yeah, it's a company now is going to be standing out in its arena, and this is why. Let me go back here again. So Unibright's another one where I wouldn't be touching it right now. You know what I mean? I mean, this could go way up. This could quadruple and triple now, and you could look back, and this could be that smooth thing that you had with Bitcoin until it took off. But this is not where we play, right? If you're a follower of me, this is where you shouldn't be playing, right? Because your probability of getting wrecked here, even with this retracement down, and it's been up at, what is it, 6,000 Satoshis, and so it's come down 20%. Well, that right there is an alarm bell. The fact that it's come down so sharply. See, you want to be looking at something that doesn't have chaotic, volatile swings like this. That's, you know, sharp up, sharp down. Even though that is kind of a nice stepper, that's a better way to grow than going straight up. It's actually more healthy. It still isn't as healthy as looking at something long term that comes up more gradually, right? So that means you could potentially have an area where you come sitting down here for ages. If you're buying into something like this, you've got to make sure you're watching the community, knowing every piece of news that's coming out, subscribing to them on Twitter and BTC Talk and all these other sites, right? To make sure you don't miss any news. You know, I don't have the time to do that kind of shit. I'm not going to sit there watching all these YouTube channels anymore. It just takes so much time out of your life. I can't be arsed, right? I do watch some. I know what some of the best ones are right now. So, and I've listed them many times before. I'll list them again in another video soon. So yeah, Unibright, you pick it up when it goes cheap. Maybe if you are ever on exchange and you have Bitcoin some Bitcoin sitting there, which you shouldn't do too much of, but if you do have some, just to snipe a good deal. Sometimes, let's say that value there, 4,200. If you sit there and say, right, well, this is how I used to pick up some alts for cheap, and many of them became worthless. But let's say I'd look at a low point there and say, right, I'm going to guess that point over here on the left hand side, 2,236. And it reached here again. I'm going to set a buy just above that at 2,500. 2,500, right? And you set a lure, and you'll find it will probably get filled one day. You know, just leave it there. I mean, if you've got, say, 0.1 Bitcoin sitting on an exchange, and you have 3 Bitcoin, and you're willing to take that risk of leaving it sitting on an exchange, you set these little trades. They might get filled. Okay. VeChain, this one has made a bit of an uproar a couple of years ago, yeah, about a couple of years ago now, and it's making news again. It's got actually a very healthy look to it. It didn't completely plummet in the bear market, you notice. So right now I would wait for a little bit of a pullback, probably to the 50 Satoshi area. Personally, that's what I would be doing. Yeah, but yeah, probably set it to something around 50 Satoshis, 51, and then it should be quite easy to make some headway in that, and potentially making up to quadruple your money, triple your money when it takes off. Again, you'd want to be watching the news on this one, and how you do that is when you come up here and you go to the website link and you research it. This one happens to have 2 websites. Yeah, that's it really. Find out other news on other channels. Look for channels like Cointelegraph, for example, that's fairly objective. What else was I going to cover? I was going to cover ChainLink, wasn't I? So I'm pretty sure I own a lot of ChainLink. Well, not a lot, but quite a lot. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be buying it. I bought it really cheap. Yeah, it's done really well. Okay, so that's probably around double or triple what I bought. I can't actually remember. I think I bought it around 150. Yeah, so that's done pretty well. You know, again, I wouldn't touch it until it's back around this maximum $3 level, because what we have coming ahead of us. Now, if this was in December, please, Rumble, stop. If this was in December, I wouldn't fuss about those prices. I mean, I watched this happen years ago with Ethereum. I bought an Ethereum at like $12. It went down to $4.50 and stuff for a long time. Bought more. But you know, of course, I felt bad for a while until it went up to 450, and then it went up to 1,400. So just remember, we are in the near bottom. Even with these levels of things doubling and tripling, we're still near the bottom of a bear market, and that's what you need to understand about when you're accumulating at this level. These things can still, you've got to look at the level that it has in comparison to Bitcoin. Unfortunately, some of these charts like this here, you notice that if I look on VeChain here, and I don't really know why this is, but you see how it's got the extra scale here. Someone might be able to tell me this actually. But you see how it's got the extra scale to see the BTC value? That's all that matters. Nothing else matters, right? Except for if you're buying from your fiat currency, you can tell how many you're going to buy. But that's it really. Buying from fiat for some of these things, from whatever you're using, New Zealand dollars or Australian dollars, Crypto.com, I would actually favor over Coinbase. Now, Coinbase are just such greedy fuckers. They don't deserve your business. That's the way I feel. And same with, I'm going to be honest about the Winklevoss brothers, their Gemini exchange. They're greedy fucks too. Right, so ChainLink, yep, I'll leave that one out for a while. Personally, I would also wait for a wee bit of a pull back on VeChain, but start dollar cost averaging now, but don't dump in, buy in heavy until it comes back further. That's my call. You do what you like. I'm just saying you can already see, I'm telling you, well, I've got no reason to lie to you, what I've bought things at when I've seen bottoms. Unfortunately, sometimes I haven't been able to take advantage of bottoms because whatever reason, just things happen in life. Like I bought this place last year and had to sell out some Bitcoin at a low and some gold at a low. This happens in life. You can't win them all. Theta, yeah. Again, I would wait for a pullback on this one here, but definitely even start DCAing into this. I put a DCA video the other day of quite a good explainer video, dollar cost averaging overall from April 22nd last year. So you're talking even in the last year, this has been 120 satoshis higher than it is now, and that was bear market bottom, right? DigiByte, very similar view. Actually, DigiByte actually looks a lot better, to be honest with you, but it has got longer history. I still think it's these guys are doing a lot of they've got a lot of buzz in the media right now. Yeah, it's a hard one to say. I'm definitely splitting between these three quite evenly. Probably the most in Cardano, to be honest. And I know that there's a good likelihood Cardano, look, if Cardano gets to its previous highs, let's see this, 6,000, yeah, 6,000 satoshis, 600, that's 10x, oh, just not quite 10x. This one here, 192, let's see, yeah. So they're both around about 10. I would actually say, let's see this one here, 184 to, I know this is a very simplistic way of looking at this, but it's worked for me in the past, especially in the bull market. 2044. Yeah, they're all about 10x down. They're 10 divide, whatever. They're down from their previous highs, right? So that means it can go 10x higher. The one that I think could pop past its previous peak in the same way that Ethereum could do right now. I think Ethereum could go past its peak, and let me bring that up just now. Is Cardano, because of what it promises to offer. It would be a major player. When you look at the this overall, I can actually see Cardano completely knocking EOS off the top. I don't like EOS's business model. They also are at a higher risk because of the duplication of their blockchain by Telos and maybe others also, actually. So you see Ethereum here at 242, its previous high was 1,400, which is 4, 5, almost 6 times in comparison to the US dollar than it is now. You'll find the proportions are about the same for against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is its high is only double what it is now. Do you see now how buying into Ethereum, maybe not short term because Bitcoin moves first, but if altcoins have this situation again where they can be unhinged, what's the word again? I can't remember. Not correlated to Bitcoin so much, you might see Ethereum take off while Bitcoin moves slower, and this actually happened already. So that's why I'm going to say, if you don't mind a little bit of risk, maybe you can go all the way down to, I'd hate to say this, but 50-60% on Bitcoin is your safety net, and play around with some of these ones more and take a position in some of these coins, like Ethereum. Not Litecoin anymore. Sorry, Litecoin, you're off my... Fuck Charlie Lee. You just really pissed me off. I've held that coin since 2013. I won't be buying any more, but I still do own quite a lot of it. I originally bought about 110 of it, I think, for a couple of bucks. $4, I think it was. But yeah, no more. It's reached way bigger highs, like 300, I think it is, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just sick of Litecoin. I'm sick of its shit. Fucking hearing that it's the silver to Bitcoin gold. Fuck off. It's tired arguments. When literally that silver argument can be taken by can be taken by Zilliqa, of course, and DigiByte, which is up where DigiByte up here. Much faster, or just as fast, but yeah, I think it's actually faster. And it's actually a platform coin, not just an actual currency coin. So it has security and DigiID, that kind of thing. Right, so there you go. Bitcoin, Ethereum. Fuck all these Bitcoin clones and stuff like that. Yeah, you can make money, but why? I don't see the point. You know, Litecoin was a Bitcoin clone, but it gave itself its not a normal name. Stop scam marketing. This exists to scam the market, to have the word Bitcoin in your name. You're just a fucktard. Right, so Cardano, bit of Telos when it comes down. Buck Stellar, never buy that. That's for, you know, that's a collaboration that's from the guys from XRP who took basically took away the faults that the XRP Ripple blockchain had, and took it with them over to Stellar. So they've got Genesis block issues, for example. There's lots of issues they'll never let you talk about if you're in a stream of one of their little rigged video sessions. But Monero, if you want a privacy coin, it is the king of privacy coins. Yes, I probably own more Dash. Where the fuck is Dash now? Oh, it's probably slipped below. It has. All right, yeah, that's. I mean, Dash used to be well above Monero. This one is the choice of the dark web, and it will be the choice of the dark web in the future, and it is the one that's getting taken off exchanges, which made it take a bit of a hit for its price. But it's a good thing, because overall, when people want to get away from government control, this is the coin they're going to go for. When the FBI raided, I think it was Dream Market a while ago, the only coin they couldn't, ZCoin I own as well. I own ZCoin and Zcash, but my ZCoin is on the old Cryptopia exchange, which got hacked. So I haven't bought any more of that yet, and I plan to. Sorry, my wrist is getting sore here. Take my watch off. Yeah, so, oh yeah, let me actually go down to that one. I need to show you that one, because that's one that I know for a fact some of these guys over in China and Taiwan are really into ZCoin, and it's one I spotted a while ago, and it was, it must have been something like 500 on the list a couple of years back when I bought this one. Where is it? Maybe I'm going to have to type it in, because I can't see it. Yeah. ZCoin. There you go. Which level is it at? It's at 105, so it's not on the first page. This one does, again, have a strong community. It is a privacy coin. It does use zero-knowledge proofs and ZK snarks. So this, I really do think you're going to see this somewhere near the Monero one day when it comes to privacy, king of privacy coins. I think that with ZCoin, it's going to continue having this community, but I think that the model they have is not going to work long term as far as the miner rewards. There's a thing with some 20% situation. What was that about again? I can't remember, but I remember when I read it years ago, I didn't like the structure of it. ZCoin doesn't have that, Monero doesn't have that, and time will tell. We'll see if they have any of these raids in the future, if any of these companies they can actually tell, the government can tell how many ZCoin they had, because they couldn't tell how many Monero they had, but they could tell how many Dash. Of course, Dash has a switch. It's effectively an option to put on privacy, just as it will be for Bitcoin and Litecoin, where you're using the Lightning Network, which allows faster transactions. So I think I've pretty much covered it all there. There's a few good coins that could make you some good money there. Let me look at oh, perfect. Look at this, right? I didn't even look at this for a while. I'm glad I brought this up. So you look at that from 2016. Now, yeah, it's been quite volatile then, right? That's good for making money at the time, but hey, as it matures and as it gets its community, the price settled down and it's not so volatile. This is a good, you know what? I'm going to buy some of this now. This is a good buy point. Look at that, and I'm going to look at USD stuff. I'll look at BTC value. So let's say 50,000 satoshis. This little trend line here of $30. By the way, it's around about 4 at the moment. I think 450. Where is it? 481. So basically $5. So look at that. Even right now in the USD, if it comes back to this median trend here, like so, if it comes back there, that's probably the mean line that I would say. This is the point where, if you buy here, on average, the price will have been above it. not time-wise, but amount-wise, because when it has, even though it has been over that for less amount of time, when it has gone over it, it's gone way over it, right? $120. You see that? So in the Satoshis, look at that. You've got 3 zeros and then a 48. So 48,000 Satoshis right now. It's around 50,000, sorry. Pretty much the same. If you anywhere above that line that I was talking about before, that $30 line, you're looking at 1 zero stripped away, 198,000 Satoshis. You see what kind of gains you can make. This will rebound. I am going to go quite heavy into it. I do know channels like Box Mining. He's based over in Hong Kong, I think. It might be Taiwan. But he's in this one quite a lot. He's part of that community. Yeah, I'd say that's a really good one to go for. I'm really glad I fucking pointed that one out. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. There are other cool ones in here. You know, I'm not going to go into them. There's so many good projects you can go for when you've made it. If you get into swing trading, and let's say, for example, you just don't make a lot of money and you're fucking around at 0.1 Bitcoin, and you get to the stage of having 0.5. And you want to say, right, I want to trade full time with 0.1 Bitcoin until I reach another one full out of that 0.1. That's when, well, basically contact me. I'll help. I'll give pointers here and there on the channel, on the Facebook one or the Facebook Messenger one or whatever it might be, or just on the comment section within YouTube. Because what is my drive? My drive is to actually help humanity get out of the old shit coins, which is the US dollar and the British pound and the ruble and the rupee and all these other currencies. They're all shit. To help you get your money out of there so that you do not get stung. Now, when I say stung, what's happening right now is the elite in general are, whatever way you look at it, the elite are going to escape the old market before you get the chance, before the normal person gets the chance to. Just don't be the masses. Don't be the herd, right? If you can get even half of your money into these markets before Wall Street gets a tenth of its money into these markets, because remember, they've got trillions to move. That's why they've got to bring the market up and down, because they bring it all in at once. They're just costing themselves money. So they pump the price up, make you follow, they dump, they go back down. They take all the losses that you got. They're making those as gains, right? So you've got to have strong hands. Commit to your thing. Don't go, oh, that's going down now. Crypto's going to die. I've seen a video that said Bitcoin's gone. 11 years, right? 11 years, perfect money. 11 years, perfect, a perfect transactable currency that can be traced if the governments want to trace it, or if you want, it suits their needs and our needs. They can trace it, but they can't stop you sending it. They can't confiscate it from you. I don't mind that. That's why I will still own Bitcoin right to the end, and of my life, and I'll own a bit of Monero too, in case the world becomes completely fascist like it's becoming right now. So cover your bases, and I'll own some ZCoin as well. I won't buy any more Zcash. I won't buy any more Dash, and I won't buy any more Litecoin. I'm telling you right now. And those will make 10x gains from where they are now. So you'd say, why am I not telling you to buy those? Because I just don't believe in them anymore. Simple as that. To me, you have to have an edge on your competition, and they no longer represent an edge to me. Although Dash does have good distribution. So does Litecoin. Litecoin has got a good community, although they are getting I've been in the Litecoin community for years. I know that people get tired. They're sick of it. DigiByte community has a lot more reason to complain, and yet they don't as much. There's a couple of haters, but I mean, that's about it. Okay, I think I've covered quite a lot there. Let me know if you want me to cover anything. Please don't ask me to, what about, just to pollute the comments section about shit coins that you happen to have bought or bags that you happen to have. Because if it's a shit coin, I'm going to call out for this shit coin that it is, and you're not going to be happy with me, and I don't give a fuck if you put a dislike or whatever the hell it is. I don't give a shit. I'm not monetized or anything. I'm here about just truth, and I'm not corruptible. I don't give a shit if someone offers me money. I don't need the money, right? So you're always going to get honesty here. Okay, bye. That's about it. Yep. Done. Oh, you know what? Let me just go down this list. It may as well before I cut off and say, oh yeah, I should have talked about that one other project. Let me just make sure that there ain't any. EOS, I wouldn't buy it. It will go higher. Everyone's like, oh, Dan Larimer, this and that. Fuck him, right? Telos, yes, it definitely will go higher. Buy when the price comes down. Crypto coin, it could be a good punt. I've got to be honest. You know, I don't like. Look, here's why. You see this asterisk here? When you look down the circulating supply list and you see an asterisk, what that means is a very easy way to see when you go into the coin itself that it's just a token. It's an unminable token, because here it says token. When you look at something like DigiByte, it's a proper cryptocurrency, even though it's a platform like Ethereum is, and it's mineable. That means that when times get bad, you're going to know about it because the hash rate's going to go down. Right? When times get bad for some of these other coins, they can be there forever as long as the Ethereum network or whatever network, Stratus or whatever they're using, or Neo or EOS, if they're using those, as long as those networks are up, the coin can live forever, and that's dangerous, right? That's why I don't trust a lot of tokens. That's why I don't talk about them very much unless they are a good buy opportunity, like these will be when they come down a little bit, I think. Theta, Unibright, VeChain. But yeah, definitely that ZCoin was a good spot. I'll let you know. I might go through these lists actually a bit more because I haven't had a lot of time to do this stuff lately, but I will do it a lot more now that I've got time coming up soon when I finish my house in the next couple of months, or a lot more work's getting finished. Binance Coin, yeah, people would say it's going to go up as well, just like crypto. I just don't trust this exchange, and I think that Tyler from Chico Crypto's got a lot of good points when he talks about these motherfuckers manipulating the market hardcore. Even when things can make money, like XRP, I don't like to support projects that aren't good for the whole crypto community and for mankind in general. ChainLink, very good, links other projects together. It's a main player and a master in its field. Monero, same. Cosmos too, but I'm not going to get into that. That's another thing. You need to decide, right, what I'm going to say, basic attention token, right? Am I going to go for BAT, or am I going to go for, where is it on the list? Fuck it, you know what, I'll go back up there. I'll type it in here instead. Am I going to go for AdEx, right? Now, if you look, I'm going to compare the two of these now. Let me go to, these are advertising. So that's to say, if you want to basically invest in advertising, you're not locked out these markets like you were in the old traditional shit market. And this is for everyone. This is a crypto market, right? So if I go to BAT, basic attention token, right? This is one that's used on this. I'm actually using the Brave browser right here. This is used in the Brave browser. So I earn, there was a problem processing your contribution. Not a very good advertisement for them. Not that I'm trying to advertise them, I'm just saying. So basic attention tokens gone up 6.8%. Look at it. Hey, over the lifespan, if these guys are making inroads and deals with companies right now, which I know they are, that is still a good buy point. Because look at that, you're on the bottom of the range. You're basically scraping the barrel still. This is a good buy, even though I don't like to talk about, again, tokens, right? But what's AdEx doing? Rank 399. That's not the end of the world. It's flat line, but I can tell you right now, these guys I've been on a lot of websites where it shows their name. It doesn't mean it's dead just because this is flatlined here. You have got, this is where it comes to looking at the news and looking at affiliations. And when the market comes back up again, this will make bigger gains than what BAT is. So it really depends. You could see it as a higher risk, and it probably is. But 928 Satoshis with the easy ability to come to 22,000 or 30,000 Satoshis. And a lot of people hate when you talk about this, about reaching previous price points, but there are people who haven't been in crypto as long as me, so they can fuck off, right? So, because I've been in a shitload, what is it, almost 10 years now, 9 years. So I can tell you they do reach previous peaks. When you look at these, when you look at the coins that have been around for years, like 2014, such as what I had up before, which was DigiByte, doesn't matter. You will actually see they do actually reach previous peaks when they have bull runs again. So I'm just going by the pattern recognition that I've seen with my own two eyes, and you can also go through and you can zoom into these segments. Look at that flat section there. You just move that slider along the bottom, and it will just show you that segment. So you can see that when you look at any section, even this little flat spot here, it's a lot more volatile than it seems like when you zoom out. All right. Again, you want to flatten it down. You look under logarithmic scale here, and it will flatten it down a wee bit, generally. You see? Anywho, I'll leave it there. As I say, let me know any decent projects that you want my take on. And that's it. No shit. There's a lot of good coins I don't talk about, like Kyber Network, or where are we now? Komodo is what I was actually thinking of. Let's make sure I haven't forgotten any of these. Dogecoin, look, please just understand, Dogecoin, as the founder will tell you, was a joke. It was just a something to prove you could do something and take a snapshot of a blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain. Hasn't done any updates. There will be lots of bugs. It's not really going anywhere, but it will still pump in price because people are fucking morons. Okay, I like the sound of the word Doge. It's not going to do anything great. It's not going to change the world. Okay, please get over it if you are into that sort of thing. Things like Maker, people will be very bullish, and lots of good YouTubers that I watch will be bullish on that. I'm just very wary of a lot of stablecoin linked, anything that's linked to the old markets. If and when crypto becomes the money and people stop thinking about fiat currencies as any more important than simply holding cash so you can pay for things locally, when that happens, all these things, I think, will die. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. And that's why I don't go heavy into them. And I have spoken about them in the past in a positive light, and I won't do it anymore. Hedera Hashgraph, relationship with Google, I think it is. Could also do well. Let me just see where it's at right now. Algorand also should do quite well. So here we go. It's another mineable one. Where is it at? That's actually at quite a good buy point, 2,500, and you can even see the last year it's been double that. Within this year it's been double that, and it's been double again. You know what? Algorand is a good buy right now, just from a simple analysis. But I'd need to look more into it. Yeah, it hasn't got the longest history, but it has made waves, and waves is another one I could talk about, but I won't because you can see it enough on Chico Crypto. He talks a lot about waves. There's a few other guys that talk about it. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, cool, wicked. Bye bye.